Hello everyone, good morning and welcome to the class. Let us try to launch our Git bash. Let's go to our repository. Like we have created our local repository on desktop, right? Git bash. Let's go there. Or else let us launch in VS Code editor. Yes. Can you help others to join? Like in the group, I think we are getting some messages. Can you confirm that session started or send the link? Can you please cooperate? I think some of them were using the wrong link. Meanwhile, I'll launch the repository. So this is our folder, right? This is where we are working. So yeah, we have created some branches, we got some conflicts and we resolve the conflict. So we need to understand the reason for conflict, right? So to understand this, let us analyze like what happened at the back end with all the steps. Still people are facing the issue. Go to the website and then click on the September link so that you can join. Okay, so now let's talk about the reasons, like what happened at the back end. I'm going to depict the steps from the beginning. So initially what happened, we are having a master branch, right? And we have also got some B1 branch. So in the master, like initially we have some file, like we have created some file called index4 and made a commit called A. Is this commit available on B1 branch? Is this available on B1 branch? We have an index4 file and we made a commit and it's definitely not available on B1. Then what we did, we came to B1. Here I have created again the same file called index4, made a commit called B, which is obviously not available on master branch, isn't it? This is not available on master, right? This is not available on master branch. So so if you see the log history or else the commit history, commit history of this branch on index 1, on index 4, okay, it would be simply commit A. I mean to say here, just give me a second. Yeah. Here there is only commit A here. Commit A. Here what is there? Here there is only commit B. Okay, here there is commit B, commit A and commit B. Here only commit B is there. Now what we want to do, we just want to merge the changes. We just want to merge the changes from B1 to master, right? So from B1, I just want to bring the changes to master. Here B1 is the source branch, master is the destination branch. So I just want to bring the changes from B1 to master, correct? So what is meant by merging? Merging means integrating, bringing the changes. So it means that if you just identify them like a boxes, this box should come and sit in here. This box is having only B. It means that it should override the existing commits. Should it override commit A? Right? Should this happen? Git never does that. If Git is doing it, no point of doing it. No point of using it. Or else it should ignore this. So it cannot ignore any changes. Git has a confusion which changes to keep. So it shows us the conflict. Means the whole point here is if commit A was here, you would not have got a conflict, isn't it? A and B would have come and sit here. but A is missing here. So when do you get a conflict? You get a conflict when source is missing some commits which are there on destination. Source is missing some commits which are there on destination, you get a conflict. Right? Got it, all of you? Understood the reason for conflict. Source is missing some conflicts, and that's why you see this. Like this is what is happening, right? So, see, conflicts are good to have. It's not that you should override them or you should overcome them. Okay, conflicts are good to have. It's a way it is handling it. Instead of overwriting or instead of ignoring, it was informing you. Okay, because source is missing. So it's not about always simply same file, correct, but it is also about your source is missing some commits. Means what is happening here? See, let's take another scenario. Okay, you have index 1 here. There is some commit A. Okay, you have made a branch, so index 1 was also there, commit A was also copied. Then again, let's say I'm making some changes on index 1, let's say commit B. Now if you merge, will you get a conflict? File is same, right? Index 1. But do you get a conflict here? Do you get a conflict in this scenario? Yes or no? Or you don't know? Any answer is appreciated. Do you get a conflict in this case?
No, no conflict.
No conflict because source is having, source means from where you are bringing the changes. I'm getting integrating changes from B1. So source is having A and B, destination is having A, obviously. Like source is not missing any comments, definitely will not get a conflict. Right? So it's not about the file name. Of course, file name is correct to some extent. File name is same. And it's about the commit. Source branch is missing some commits which are there on destination. Like in the previous case, you get a conflict. That's a reason for conflict. So this is the reason you need to understand what is happening at the back end. Generally, people think that because it's the same file name, you get a conflict. But what about this case? Okay, it's not about the same file name. Like the main point here is you need to identify is Git works with respect to changes. Okay, so whenever your source is missing or lacking some commits which are to be present on the destination, which are present already on the destination, you get a conflict. Got it clear now? Everyone understood the reason for the conflict? Clear?
Yes, clear.
All right. So here, that's about the conflict part. Now that we understood the, I'm sorry. Now that we understood merging with conflicts and without conflicts and all, let's look into another interesting concept called stash. So what is meant by stash? Stash is nothing but, yeah, what is stash? Stash is nothing but suppose you are in a working directory of some branch. Okay, you are making some changes like index 1, index 2, index or whatever, some files, file 1, whatever, take any file. Okay, and we are making some changes to these files and work is going on. It's not yet complete. Work is happening on file 1 and file 2. Then I got some priority tasks, a very important task from my manager which I need to attend very immediately. Okay, there is some priority task which I need to attend. The task is about like I need to make some changes on file 3, commit the file 3 and then push to remote on priority. Okay, I should do it. So okay, fine, I can put these files on hold. I can just go and do that. But always a thumb rule is whenever you are committing or whenever you are merging or whenever you are deleting anything, always the thumb rule is keep your repository clean. Means it should show like working tree is clean. Okay, that's a best practice. Before you push to remote or before you merge, before you do anything, that's how your repository should be. But in this case, because I have some unstated changes on file 1, file 2, will my repository be clean? Will it show as working tree as clean? Can it be shown that way? It will not, because I have file 1, file 2 with some unstated changes. It will keep on prompting, it will keep on asking me to add and commit. But I cannot add and commit because the reason is I cannot add and commit because here these files are incomplete, means changes were incomplete. Changes are not yet completed. I cannot add and put the incomplete changes which may corrupt the project. At the same time, I don't want to lose them because half of the work is done. So, what should I do? I want to put this work on hold. I want to move this unstaged changes in the working directory on hold. I want to move them to some temporary virtual shelves, which is called stash. So that your repository becomes clean, you can attend other priority tasks, and once you are back, you can get the changes back to your working directory through unstash and continue the incomplete work. Right? So that's a concept of stash and unstash. Got it, all of you? Understood the concept?
Yes, understood.
Yes.
Yeah. So to put some changes on hold, to put the particularly unstaged changes on hold, you have the stash. And whenever you want to get the changes back and continue, you can unstash. We'll talk about these differences. Like we'll talk about the different ways you can do the stash and unstash. Now let's head to hands-on. So here we are on B1. On any branch we can do the stash. Let's go to master. Here I have some couple of files. Let me check the status. It was all clean. Yeah, I have a bunch of files here, right? Okay, let me modify certain files. Let's go to file one. Okay, let us save it. You could modify any number of files. Okay, I'm modifying this one also. Okay, done. Now, if you do git status, what would be the status message showing us? What will be the message of this git status command?
If it is new file, then it is untracked.
You tell me, is it a new file? What will be the message we can see now? What message we get now? It's our own repository. We are working on the same repository from 2 days or 3 days. We started our Git on Wednesday, right? So this is our third day. So you know already the repository. You are also seeing the symbol here. I didn't create those files afresh. So what would be the message? Unstaged, not staged changes. Correct. So unstaged changes, because those are not new files already, those are committed. Just now I have shown you, it was showing repository clean. So I made modifications. It is showing like clean. See, if you don't have any question, please keep muted. There's a lot of background coming from someone. If you have a question, unmute and speak out. Otherwise, please keep muted. Now, yeah, it was showing these couple of files. Okay, but I want my repository to be clean. But I don't want to add and comment because those are incomplete. At the same time, I don't want to lose it. So I just want to put it on hold. Simply do git stash. See, it says that working directory is clean. If you do the status, it's clean. Means the changes are gone. Yes, see, file one line I have written, it's no more. Okay, but where is the changes? They were stashed. You can see them with git stash list. See, every stash will generate a stash number. Git show the stash number. Some other commands which were in the copy were pasted.
The Preeti, I have a question. So when you said that you have just did the git stash and all the files went to the temporary shelves, which the files which we wanted to hold up. So for example, I want only a single file. Can I just write git stash and the file number?
Yeah, I'll
Is
show
it applicable?
you. Yes, yes.
Okay.
We'll do. That's what different types of stash and unstash will be looking into. Okay, it will show you the files which where you can see the changes. Like, yes, this is the line that was stashed, right? First file on master, that this line, this file on this line on the right. So it was showing both the changes which were stashed. Okay, perfect. So stash list can show you what the changes were stashed. Now let's suppose I want to get the changes back. Get the stash pop that stash number. Okay, what is this git stash pop? Yes, it will bring the changes back to working directory. Also, it will delete them from temporary shelves. It will not keep any copy on the temporary shelves. Pop means that's what it does. It deletes from the temporary shelves. So here if you see, yes, your changes are back. Dropped this stash, okay? Deleted from temporary shelves. If you see git stash list, you don't have anything on temporary shelves, you got the changes back. Do you see here? The lines were back, and also if you see the status, yes, unstated changes. So you can continue the incomplete work now. Understood the simple concept of stash and unstash? Let me do one more time, okay? Whoever having any confusions, let me do one more time. Git stash simply. Okay, first let me show you status once again. So yeah, unstated changes. So git stash, everything were moved to temporary shells. You have your repository clean, perfect. Now you could see them here like status, it's clean, git stash list. A stash number will be generated. How to unstash? Git stash pop the stash number. Stash number starts with indexing starting from 0. Okay, this will delete from temporary shells. Also, it will unstash. But let's say I just want to keep a copy on the temporary shells and then unstash. Why to keep it on temporary shells? Why do you need a copy there? I'll talk about it in a minute. First, yeah, if you want to keep a copy on temporary shells and get the changes back, apply. Okay, so you can see your changes, no changes added to commit. Okay, changes not staged, right? You can see your changes are back. It will be also under remote like git stash list. See, it is still here as well. It is still there on temporary shells. I mean, on remote as well. Am I making sense?
Yes, yes.
Right?
Yes.
Still there on temporary shells. Also, it has unstashed. That is one way to, I mean, another way to stash and unstash. So it is still there on temporary. Why do you need to put it on temporary shells? The reason is maybe later on, at a later point of time, I want to continue this incomplete work on some other branch because stash is a repository level. You can switch your branch to B1 and unstash there also. So if you want to continue your incomplete work on some other branch, You can switch the branch and unstash the changes this way. Understood, everyone? Is this clear for all of you?
So Preeti, if unstash files, when we do unstash, so the existing files will modify, right? So we have a copy in stash. So what will happen if we stash the files after 4 5 days? So it will merge. It will give any conflict or automatically it will.
Yeah, it will again
No.
give you a conflict, like which changes you need to keep. It will ask you, and you can put the
Okay.
changes whatever you need.
Got it.
Okay, and now if you want to delete the stash drop stash number, it will delete from temporary shells without unstashing. Let's say in case you want to delete, that's how it will delete it from temporary shells. But anyway, you got your changes here. Okay,
How to stash a single file only?
I will show you that also. Okay, one by one we are going, we'll look into that as well. So till now we have seen stash, unstash, like pop and apply. Pop means it will delete and unstash, or else apply means it will keep a copy there and unstash. Okay, now I'm stashing once again. So if you simply run git stash, whatever unstaged changes, whatever number of files are there, 1 file, 2 file, whatever, everything will be stashed. But if you want to stash only a particular file, a specific file, not everything. Let's say I want to stash file 1, but I don't want to stash file 2. I want to commit file 2. Git stash minus p. That's for partial stash, or else stashing a specific file. Okay, now it will ask you which file you want to stash. See, it is asking file 1, do you want to stash? Yes. File 2, no. N, done. So now if you do git stash, only one file is stashed. If you see, only file 1 is stashed. And git stash list, you have one stash. Let's say now I want to stash the next one also, maybe separately. Yeah, that is also possible. Status is clean. Stash list, you can have multiple stashes. Whichever you want to get back, you can unstash that. You can pop or apply that particular stash number. Understood?
Can we check what kind of files, what files are there in stash now
Yeah, I have
with
already
name file?
shown git show stash number. It will show you what changes were stashed in the stash.
So now we have just 4 to 5 files. So we have in the development area there will be lot of files, right?
Mm.
So that time we have to keep the stash number in somewhere to get the list.
No, you can do git show stash number so that it can show you which changes were there in particular. So that you will unstash that particular stash number, not everything. And also, suppose you want to delete a particular stash, like I have already shown you, git to drop the stash number. Or else, let's say you just want to delete everything. Simply git stash clear. That will delete all the stashes from the temporary shells. Okay. Everything was gone. I deleted from the temporary shells as well as from here. So that's about stashing and unstashing in different ways. Let me summarize. Let us consolidate the steps here. So stash will simply, what this command will do? This command will move the changes from working directory to temporary shells. And then what is stash pop? What stash pop will do?
Temporary to
Plus, it will also delete from temporary shells, isn't it? It will unstash, also delete from temporary shells. Then what is stash apply? This is also same. It will also help you bring the changes from temporary shells to working directory, but it will not delete from temporary shells. Right? Simple stash is from the working directory to temporary shells. Correct? Right? And then stash should drop stash number. It will delete from temporary shells. That's all. It will not unstash. And then stash clear means it will delete all the stashes from temporary shells. It will not unstash. Got the difference in the commands, everyone? Stash. There are two commands for unstashing. These are the two for unstash. This is for deleting. Sorry. These two are for stashing. Unstashing. This is for stashing. Stash pop, stash apply means unstash. Simply stash means stashing. And if you want to stash a particular file, a specific file, stash sp. Right? See, only thing is there is no complexity or there is no hard, complex or strategies or methodologies or concepts to understand here. Simple concepts which needs a lot of practice. Rigorous practice is a must. Only thing is practice. If you practice, you will get all these on your fingertips. Okay, you will be very confident working with Git or facing the interview questions on Git. So be prepared. Only the thumb rule is practice. That's what is lacking in the majority of the learners. Okay, so we understood stash. Let me ask you a question. What is the difference between stash and ignore? Because there is again a lot of confusion over these concepts. What is the difference? There's a lot of confusion over ignore and stash. What is the difference? Were they same? How they are different? Anyone can try answer. We already learned git ignore. We learned the stash. So have you found
Uh,
any?
Yeah, just so in git ignore we can actually list some files and we can ignore those files from being committed to the remote directory, but we cannot perform the commands like pop, delete, and other commands that stash does. So stash is kind of putting the files into a temporary shelf, and there we can do some operations, but in ignore I don't think so we can do any operation as such.
Okay, you have
Right.
explained the concepts, both concepts, but what is the difference? What is happening when you do git ignore? Why can't I do git ignore? Why should I go for stash?
Um, Git ignores are, I think, those are not complete changes. I think they can be complete changes which can be put on hold or can be ignored for some time. But in Git stash, these are all the incomplete changes that we are putting on hold. And the other difference is that, as I told, that the operations can be done for Git stash, but the operations cannot be done for Git ignore.
See, because you have git stash commands, you have definitely the operations. But the question is why, like, why do you need a git ignore then if both are same? You can perform git stash operations means why you should perform it. See, the difference here is git ignore is where you are ignoring the file completely. The file will not be tracked by git anymore if you put it in git ignore. Here files are still tracked. File 1 and file 2 are still being tracked. They were not excluded from tracking. Right? They were still being tracked. Got the difference? If I put ignore and if I put the file 1 there, it will not be tracking anymore. Here file should be tracked. Only certain changes in that file I am putting on hold. That's a stash. Got the difference now, everyone? No problem. You don't if you don't get the difference.
Yes.
Slowly, when you analyze it thoroughly, when you do practice, you will understand the actual difference. No worries, just go through the hands-on. So that's about stash, and that's about the difference between ignore. We are not ignoring file 1 here. I still want Git to track it. Only certain unstaged changes I want to put on hold. There you go for stash. If you go for ignore, whole file will not be tracked by Git anymore. So when do you use Git ignore? Which files we should ignore?
Confidential files like username, password,
Mm.
any other confidential files that we can put on Git ignore.
Other
That type.
any other? Log
Any
files,
demo files,
full files.
log files.
Log files, executable files, which will be updated dynamically through your program. Such files need not be version controlled and also should not be version controlled. Git is a I'm sorry. Git is a tool which can version control static files at ease. Okay. Git is not effective in managing dynamic files like executables. These files it cannot version control. Also, we should not version control them. There's no point of version controlling those files. Right? Okay. So that's about the stash. Now let's look into another advanced concept in Git. This is the most advanced concept in Git, which is called rebase. Okay, let us look into this concept. I believe you all can see the screen now. First, let me explain it with a scenario. Suppose you have some master branch. Okay, there is some commit A, there is commit B and master. Now I want to make a branch B2 from master. So what would be the commit history? I mean, what would be the log history of this B2? Yes. What would be the log history? Obviously commit A, right? Commit B. Okay, perfect. We made a branch here. Parallelly development is happening on both the branches. Okay, so parallelly development happening means yes, there is some commit C happen here. Okay, here also commit D happened. Parallelly development is happening in both the branches. That is also perfect. These are all commits. Okay, I cannot write the alphanumeric, so I'm referring them as A, B, C, and all. So yes, this is how parallel development is going on in both the branches. Perfect. Okay, now later at some point I realized that I just want to bring the changes of master into B2. Means integrate changes of master to B2. Means what should I do? If I want to integrate the changes from one branch to another, what should we do?
Merge.
Git merge.
Merge. Okay, merge. Merge means so that okay, let me do one thing. Just for simple understanding. Okay, development is happening parallelly this way. Okay, fine. Now what happens? Yes, the commits whenever you merge. I don't know how many of you noticed this. If you have noticed it, it's fine. So whenever you merge, what happens if there is no conflict? Okay, the new commits will be added as the latest commits into the destination branch. Like, yeah, C will be added as a latest commit, as the topmost commit into the branch. That's how merge works. Okay, or else if there is a conflict, also the same happens. Whenever you merge, a topmost or latest commit will be added into the current branch. If no conflict, same ID. If it's a conflict, this ID may differ. But yes, a new commit ID will be added as a topmost commit into the current branch when you merge. Understood this much also? C is a commit from master that will be added as a latest commit into the destination branch, into the current branch where you are merging. If no commit means same ID, C will be there. If there is merge mean, if there is a conflict means the ID may change. But yeah, it will be added as a topmost commit. Is this much clear for each and every one of you? Understood?
Yes.
So this is what happens. But uh, if you see the log history of this branch now after merging, you will see that these are from the parent branch, correct? And this is from the child branch. This is again from the parent branch. Am I correct? Yep. So it will be showing you parallel development. That development is happening parallelly. And also at some point of time, you may not be able to understand this log clearly because some commits from the child itself, some commits from parent, again some from child and so on. A messed up log history. So what I want is, yes, I want to integrate changes from master to B2, but I want the log history should be A, B, C, and D. Means C should be added in between B and D. Why it should be added between B and D? Because it should show me linear development rather than parallel development. Okay, C should come and sit between B and D, and it should show linear development means it shows first all the parent changes. Do you see that? All of them from master, then the child. So it shows, okay, development is happening linearly. First in the master branch, then in the child branch. First in the parent branch, then in the child branch. So the log history would be simple. Linear log history, you can understand the log at any point of time. It avoids unnecessary new merge commits into the branch just because you're merging. Also, it shows as though you have created a branch at this point. Isn't it? If you have created branch at this point, that is how the log history would be, correct? So if you want to merge, but you want to have the log history rewritten in such a fashion, that's called rebase. Rebase is also kind of merge, okay, but which will rewrite the log history and shows linear development rather than parallel development. If you want that kind of functionality, yes, you go for rebase. Understood the concept? I'll tell you why you should go for it, when you will go for it, but is the concept clear? What rebase does? It also merges. It brings commit C from master to B2, but it will rearrange the commit history in such a way that first it will show all parent commits, then all the child commits. Got it?
Okay. Okay, I have a question, Preeti. So, in my project, sometimes what they tell is that when we work on one of the branches, and so they tell that to rebase with the master the branches to make it up to date. So, I had an understanding that rebase means like to update with the master. So, is it a correct notion or it's wrong?
Update only, right? See, you are bringing
Okay.
changes from master into this B2 means, yeah, you are bringing changes from your master. Okay, then,
Oh, okay.
but you may be having question, why should I rebase? Why can't I merge? Because if you merge like this, new commit IDs will be added to the branch. Actually, if we make some changes, commit ID should be added. Here, just because of merging, commit ID is added as a latest commit. That makes a problem when you do it on remote. I'll show you a rebase on remote. Rebase on remote will be done a bit differently to avoid this kind of unnecessary commit IDs just because you are merging. Okay,
Okay.
so that's a like pull with a rebase. That's a pull with a minus R. That's a different part. Okay, but this is a rebase for our local repositories. And yeah, here the thumb rule is, again, rebase is an advanced concept. It's not that everyone just uses rebase. Then what is the when do you use? Particularly the rebase I'm talking about is for local repository. Remember everyone, we didn't go to remote it. Okay, we didn't go to remote it. So this is only for local. So when do you do this rebase? Yes, rebase you should do only for local branches. This kind of rebase. There is another kind of rebase which we'll do on remote. But the rebase we were talking about is confined for local branches. What is meant by local branch? Local branches, it is confined only for your local repository. Okay, meaning you didn't share the branches with others. You didn't push them to remote. So for such branches, yes, you can go for this rebase. You should not do it for public branches. Then how to do it for public branches or public code? Okay, we will look into it as well. Understood, everyone?
Yes, Preeti.
So first, let's have a look into demonstration on this. Then we'll go to remote and we will look into the actions on remote. Okay, first let's go for our local. Okay, now yeah, we'll do all the steps as we discussed diagrammatically. Okay, first let's create a branch from master. First of all, let's check the log of master. Git log one line. Okay, I'm having a bunch of logs. Let's confine ourselves with a small log, okay, so that you can understand. I just want to have only these two logs. Only this should be the topmost commit ID. I want to get rid of everything else. What should I do? I want only two logs in my master. What should we do? How to do that? Do you remember reset command? Okay, this is the log of master. Simple log with a simple um, code changes. We have only two files. Perfect. Now I would like to create a branch from master. How to create a branch from master?
So we'll write create branch
Git branch b1.
dash v.
Sorry,
Yeah, yeah,
b2.
okay.
b1 is already there, so b2 master.
Master.
So yes, b2 is created. We shall go to b2. Before going to b2, let me make one more commit here. Always relate to your diagrammatic representation. Okay, so A, B, C. Okay, let's make some commit on master. Let's say I'll create one more file. File3.txt. New file created on master. Okay, so the same old way, git add file3, git commit -m file on master. Okay, right. So everything is good. So you can also check the log of master. You have 3 commits. How many commit IDs will be there on B2?
One only.
B2. B2 we have created after 2 commits. When we created a branch, there were 2 commits. Go to B2, git checkout B2. So here you can see git log one line. Yes, you have 2 commits on B2. Okay. Now, yes, parallelly development is happening. Here also, I would like to create some file. I'm just creating it as file4.txt. Okay. Let's say file created on B2 branch. Okay, so now again add it on the B2. We are on B2 now. So git add, git commit -m B2 changes. Okay, done. So yes, I have some log here. Git log B2. Okay, this is the log of B2 branch. Let us put it into a notepad so that we can analyze it better. Okay, that's a log of B2 before rebase. Also get the log of master. Git log master. Master will not be affected because we are going to rebase into B2. So let's say log of, is it log of master not copied? Okay, log of master and then log of B2. Now we'll put the log of B2. See if you notice here, this is commit A, this is commit B, this is commit C. Correct? Commit A, commit B, commit C on master. We made a branch at the point of commit B. So this is commit A, commit B, commit D. Commit D. Okay, so this is how it is. Now I just want to come, this C should come and sit in between here, right? This is what we need. So let us see. Let's see what happens. See, this is A, B, and this C should come and sit in between B and D. So let us do the rebase now. Git rebase, git rebase master. Okay. Okay, it has rebased. See, you got the file as well as you will get the log. Get the log of B2 because B2 will be the one which is affected. We are merging into B2. Log of B2. Yes, do you see that? See here, this is what we were expecting. Commit A, commit B, commit C, and then commit D. Do you see that C commit is this 48813? This is what we want. And it shows parallel development, it shows a linear development. First, all the parent commits means parent branch is the one first which is created. So first all the parent commits, then the child commits. These are all ABC are the commits from parent branch, right? These are all from the parent. This is from the child. First, all the parent commits will be arranged as per the timestamp, then all the child commits, and it shows the linear development. Understood the concept? This is what we have seen diagrammatically. Any confusions, any questions? So what is the difference between merge and rebase? How different it is? What is the difference between merge and rebase?
Merge will. Yeah, please go ahead.
Yeah, please go. So merge will merge the files from master to B2.
Hmm.
Rebase will rearrange the uh, code or our changes as per the timestamp.
See, rebase also merges. Rebase also does the same. It brings changes from one branch to another. Okay. See, your answer should be both does the same. Okay. Merge and rebase functionality wise, it will integrate changes from one branch to another. But rebase will rearrange the commit history. Commit history, that is important. It will rearrange what? It will not rearrange our code. It will rearrange the commit history. Consider them like interview questions. Okay, I'm just telling you the way you should answer. Okay, don't hesitate to put, even though they are incorrect, with some modifications, you can give right answers in the interview. That way, these questions will help you. That's the reason of asking you the questions, not to trouble you. Okay, so the reason is, yes, both does functionality wise same, but rebase will rewrite the log history. It will rewrite the log history and shows the log history in a linear fashion. That's one thing, like in local repositories. Then there might be a question regarding how do you pull with rebase. Okay, that also we will learn in the next class. Okay, and another important thing is, yeah, tell me.
No, if someone asks, so that is for local repository, but so for remote is also the same, the answer for merge and rebase.
Functionality wise same, okay, but how it works, you will avoid unnecessary commit IDs in remote. The scenario
Okay.
where you use remote we'll learn in the next class. Concept is same, that there also it merges. Okay, it avoids unnecessary commit IDs just because you're merging. Okay, so when you should do it, we'll see it with the scenario in the next class.
Okay. Okay.
Conceptually same.
On which base it is rebasing it? Means from the commit time or commit ID.
Commit time. First, all the parent commits. See, first of all, when linear development means first changes happen in parent branch or the child branch. First, which branch is there? Parent branch is there. From parent, you are creating
Parent.
new branch. So, first parent commit IDs. Okay, first parent commit IDs. But how those parent commit IDs should be arranged? They should be arranged again as per the timestamp. First, the oldest one, and so on. See, A, B, C, because A is the oldest one. Then B, then C. Okay, then again, tail commits
Okay,
again as per
understood.
the timestamp.
With the help of timestamp, it is rebasing it. Yeah, understood. Yeah.
So that's a kind of rebase. Rebase is an advanced concept. Like I said, it's a far advanced concept. Again, there are different types of rebases. You may get a conflict in rebase and all. Okay, those things, though, to that extent, we need not go. We don't do that generally. Developers who work with the Git so rigorously to manage a lot of files for development, they may be using, but we don't go to that extent of rebase. Also, this kind of rebase, like we discussed, is for local branches. Then what kind of rebase do we use more? What is the rebase on remote? That's what is pull with rebase, pull with minus R. Those things we shall see in the next class. Okay, so yeah, that's about rebase. And let me just go through the architecture ones. Hmm. Yeah, we have learned this architecture well, right? We have understood this thoroughly. So now if you look into, we were still working on this local. We didn't go to remote yet. Okay, we didn't go to remote. We didn't do anything on remote. Whatever we have done, stash, rebase, merge, merge with conflicts or merge without conflicts, diff commands, everything we were working here on our local computer, local workstation, let's say local repository. Okay, let's say, okay, my repository is ready. Okay, I'm done with my changes. Now it's a time I want to share my changes with others. I want to put it on remote. So how to do that? What is your remote repository? Where is your remote repository? That's where comes GitHub into picture. GitHub or Bitbucket or GitLab, all these works and look similar as well. Like the UI is almost similar. Okay, they are nothing but an online management system where you can host your local repositories like Git repositories or SVN repositories. Any of them you can host. They're online management system. Of course, GitLab has got some other additional features. Like a GitLab can be used as continuous integration server as well. through which you can execute your pipeline. That's a different part. But if you know GitLab or GitHub or Bitbucket, like if you know one of them, you can very easily work with any others. So those are the ones which can work as a remote repositories. So
All are having the same commands, or commands
commands
are
are
different
same.
according.
Commands are same. The URLs will be different. Like the repository URL will be different. Okay, this is your GitHub. For the first time when you go to github.com, it just show you some sign in page. Create a free account, like you create any Gmail account or Facebook account. You can just create a free account and keep it. Okay, how to push to here, how to push the repositories, where are your repositories? See, these are all my repositories. Okay, we can create a new one, we can push and all. We shall start this remote repositories in the next class. Any more questions in this part from your end? You can ask me. How to push, how to pull, how to resolve conflicts on remote, many other things like pull with rebase, all those we shall see in the next class. Any questions in this part from your end? Creating free account on GitHub is
As of now, no doubts. But if we try to, use an then we have a doubt. We'll post in WhatsApp.
sure.
If we have.
Yeah. Once you do the hands-on, definitely you'll get a lot of queries. Okay, a lot of questions there. You may be stuck up there. Okay, try using Google Drive. Watch the recording once again. Still, if you have a problem, you can post it in the group. Okay, but always try from your end, because troubleshooting is more important. The skills of troubleshooting, identifying the issue is very important in real time. So first try from your end, so that you will come to know many other things when you try from your end than me giving a straightforward answer, straight away giving the solution. I'll give the solution. But if you try, you come to know many other things. So always troubleshoot. That's again very important. That's the reason of doing hands-on. Okay, and then get back to me whatever queries you have. So yeah, like Gmail or any other thing, create a free account here. Okay, you will get some username like this and you will get some password. Just keep them with you. We shall work on it in the next class. Yes, we'll push our code to remote in the next session. Push, pull, clone, and many other commands there. So, any more queries? Have you all installed Git?
Yes, Preeti.
Installation is done, I believe, right?
Yes,
Yes,
Preeti.
yes.
Yeah. So, see, some of you are working on Git, some of you are working in the projects. You might be very busy people, but still requesting you in the beginning itself. Okay, do the hands on. Don't ignore, even though you are using it, still install Git, learn like a beginner. It will help you a lot, trust me. Okay, just do the complete hands on. You should have your hands dirty by the end of the course.
So Preeti, I have a question. So while doing the hands-on, so how do we properly do the hands-on? Like we have to list out the all the Git commands and we have to try the same command in the hands-on, something like that. We have to learn what is the proper learning in the hands-on.
Watch the recording. Okay, first keep the recording on. Okay, suppose now you are talking about git stash. Okay, first listen it completely, git stash concept, then put the video on pause, then start doing hands-on. Okay, if you have any command reference, you can check it on the drive. But still, if you didn't understand even that concept once again, so pause the video, play it again, so re-listen, and complete the concept. And then once it is done, go to the next part. That way you can learn. Command, if you want to copy, it's there in the drive, but if you want to see the explanation, watch the recording. So keep your drive, keep the recording side by side and do the hands-on. You can listen if you are not able to do the hands-on, just listen in one go. Otherwise, watch the recording by putting it on pause, concept by concept. If you want to just have a quick revision kind of, you can play the video at double X speed and watch it. But to do the hands,
Okay.
so keep it in a slow mode and re-listen and make the concepts thorough. Get the concepts thorough. So that is all about Git concepts today. We shall talk about remote in the next class, and yeah, maybe we shall start with some Linux basics also in the next session, and then we'll start with after Git, after remote, we'll go with the Linux basics, and after that we shall start with the Jenkins, and we'll step ahead to the pipelines. All right, then today is Friday, right? We'll be having again session on Monday. So you'll be having 2 days off. Utilize them properly. Complete your hands-on till whatever we have learned. Okay? And yeah, any questions you can reach me. So that is all from my end. Anything else, or shall we wind up here?
Yeah, thank you, Preeti.
All right then. Bye everyone. See you all on Monday. Have a great day and happy weekend. Thank you all.
Yeah, you too. You too. Bye.
Thank you. Bye everyone.